All right, we can use the square root property to solve quadratic equations too that have no x terms. Okay, and so what's going to happen is we're going to let k be a non-negative number. Then the solutions to the equation x squared equals k is going to be x equals plus or minus k. And again, it goes back to when you take the square root of this side, you take plus or minus the square root of that side. Okay. Now, if k is less than 0, that means under the square root, then it has no real numbers because we can't take a square root of a negative, okay, and get a real number. And we're going to only look at real numbers because we're looking at, the graph, and so it has to be either positive or negative numbers. It can't be i's or anything else. All right, so solve each equation. All right, so this one they've already set up easy. We just have to take the square root of that, and we're going to get plus or minus the square root of 10. Okay, so that was pretty easy. So what does that tell us? Um, if we wanted to plug that in, we could plug it in and solve back and say, okay, well, if we square a positive 10, square root of 10, we get 10. If we plug in a negative 10 and square it, we get a positive 10 as well. Now this one, we have to do a little more work. We have to take first the 16 to that side, and then we have to divide by 25, and then we can take the square root. And so that's going to be plus or minus 4 over 5. Okay, because we take the square root of 16, take the square root of 5, and we get 4 and 5. Now this one is going to be a little bit different. What we're going to have to do is take the square root, so we're going to get plus or minus 4 over here, but then we have to take and add the 3 to both of those. And so we'll take x, and then we have 3 plus 4, so that's going to be 7, or 3 minus 4 is going to be minus 1. Okay, so 7 or minus 1. So we have two solutions on this one. All right, how does this connect to the real world? Well, if an object is dropped from a height of h feet, its distance d above the ground after t seconds is given by this function. Okay. Um, so, and this is due to gravity and everything else, okay? So that's going to be what it is. Now, what if we have a toy falling 40 feet from a window? How long does the toy take to hit the ground? Well, we just plug everything into our function here. And so when we plug that in, we have 40 is equal to h. Now, if we want that to be the distance from the ground, well, it's going to be at, when it hits the ground, that's going to be 0. So now we need to solve this for t. And so we take the 40 over, divide by negative 16. Now we have to take the square root. And so we're going to get either plus or minus the 40 over 16 square root. And so guess what? It's not going to make any sense to be a negative number, so only our positive number is going to work here. And so 2 square root of 10 over 4, if we actually take and have it as an exact number, and if we have the approximate number, if we take it to one decimal place, that's going to be about 1.6 seconds. Okay, so again, these canceled out to just the 2 on the bottom, but in this case, it doesn't make sense to have that, so we're going to want a number, and so 1.6 seconds is going to be the case to one decimal place, or the tenth. All right, let's stop there and come back for some more.